Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of the Just the Tip interview. Really excited today to have Jerry with us. Jerry Chen, welcome to the Just the Tip podcast.
Thank you, and good to be here. Thank you, Jack.
You're most welcome. So, to get us started off, Jerry, if you could just give us a bit of background about your business and how you're using AI on a daily basis, I think that would be really helpful for the people watching.
Yeah, so my background was actually in engineering. I am a former literal rocket scientist. I worked in space, military, and commercial crafts design with the Boeing company. And I had left my job since 2009, but I'm a recovering engineer, if you want to call me that. I love analyzing data. I love data. I love using science and data to create solutions to solve mankind's problems, to the best of my abilities. And so I think AI is a fantastic fit for my skill set and my passion. I previously started a business that's still running strong today. It's a digital marketing agency specifically focusing on SEO, search engine optimization. And because of AI, that has certainly evolved since 2002, if not longer. So I've got that going. And then I also have AI consulting as a separate brand called ThrustIQ on thrustiq.com. That's where my AI consulting business is housed on the internet.
Nice. So SEO is something that's close to my heart because I also have a content marketing and SEO agency. And I think it's one of the industries that is most impacted by AI and is actually the reason that I got into AI in the first place. So I'm guessing your first view of ChatGPT was before everyone else was really looking at it, maybe even in the GPT-2 days.
Yes, absolutely. I actually started using AI back in 2017, but it wasn't what I think most people in the audience would understand AI as today. Most people talk about generative AI these days. But back in 2017, I took a closer look at natural language processing. And we as in my team and I dug deeper into how Google is using NLP technology using their supercomputers to analyze this. I think that the semantics of search results and then to be able to reverse engineer how Google is looking at search results. So what we had done back then was we would go into Google Cloud, look at the developer tools. They have a specific section. I'm getting a bit into the weeds, but I think it's important to talk about how that impacts what we're doing today, right?
Totally.
So back then it was all about the reverse of ChatGPT. ChatGPT is about producing content, but back in 2017, we were looking at how Google is analyzing what humans were producing or whatever is being produced on the internet. And so we didn't have tools like ChatGPT to generate content, but we did have tools to analyze content so that we know what Google prefers. And then we get our writers to create content that is engaging, but also pleases the search engine. That's how we started using AI.
Totally, and looking at all kinds of things like density, word usage, different synonyms, and basically the semantics of a piece and how Google sees it. I've spent many an hour looking at Google's different highlights of words based on what it thinks should be where and sentiment and all of those things. So yeah, without us going too far into the weeds, because I'm sure
That's
we
right.
could do a podcast on our own.
Yeah.
It is fascinating because I think SEO and content, as much as was one of the earliest affected by AI, was also the earliest aware of it.
That's absolutely right. And I think the entire internet is driven by a search engine. I mean, it started as a search engine. And so it's the longest running digital marketing traffic generation strategy, but it's also the one that is the most frequently impacted by, I guess, the evolution of new technology, right? It's like the first in line to get everybody going, but it's also first in line to be impacted.
Totally, yeah, totally. So, in terms of SEO and the world of SEO now, how do you see 2025 shaping up? Because I think it's a hugely important point.
Yes, I feel like, and it's funny you asked the question because I just had this discussion with my team this morning. I think AI in 2025 is going to be difficult to predict. My personal view is that if people hear the term, agentic AI or AI agents, right? This term has been thrown around quite a bit, but I think to in layman's terms, like most people don't understand the difference between an AI agent and an AI bot. And even when I did my research and dug deeper into what's coming in 2025, the term AI agents is being used so frequently that I think if we could come to an agreement that an AI agent, in terms of the definition of what an AI agent is, I think 2025 is all about AI agents being launched everywhere. It doesn't matter what platform it is or what area of life we're looking at. Like this morning, I was building an AI agent that is a conversational AI, but on the back end, it does a lot more than just having a conversation with someone, right? I set up a telephone number. People can call in to talk to the receptionist of my agency, which is driven by AI. And then I have a manager AI monitoring this receptionist AI's performance. And then we look at the feedback, the transcript of the receptionist AI's conversation with an actual caller. And then we look at the manager AI's comments on this receptionist's performance. And then we as humans, we have to make certain decisions as to how we want to tweak these agents. And so that I think that's an example of what I see coming in 2025 is a bunch of different AI agents taking up different roles in different companies. And then the humans that are assigned to manage these AI agents will then put in their input to create a more refined model of these agents. And then this cycle will probably just continue to repeat until whoever is running the company is happy with the results.
Right, right. So it's a feedback loop between the human and the bots until the bots get to a point that they're good enough. But there's also a feedback loop between the bots underneath the human. So
That's right.
effectively, you could have a human with a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge here, with a team of senior management, and then a team of junior management, and then a team
That's
of
right.
the actual doers, and all of it is AI feedback loops until the very person at the top goes, yes, no, change this, change that.
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's a nice way to put it. Thanks for having me.
So
But that's how I see it. Yep.
if we look at that, then I mean, a lot of people are going to be scared to hear that.
Yes, for sure. Well, I think one of the challenges that I run into, in terms of what I do in with AI on a day-to-day basis, in my own SEO agency, my team members need to be reassured that they're not going to lose their job. And in my AI consulting agency, I have to do the same for my clients' employees, and it's a bit of a conundrum because imagine you're a business owner, you assign your COO or whoever to interact with an outside AI consulting company that Jerry runs, for example. Jerry comes in, talk to the COO about how AI can help improve the operating efficiency of the company, and then the COO has got to think, if Jerry's agency can help train an AI to replace some of the people under him, what's going to stop Jerry's AI consulting company to build another agent to replace the COO himself, right? And so these are the kind of difficult conversations we must have with business owners and their employees. And there's going to be some pushback, some resistance. But at the end of the day, I think having an honest conversation with whoever you're working with is so important. If people decide to bury their head in the sand and say, I don't buy into that AI stuff, it'll never replace humans, I think they need to think again because 2025, we're going to see, in my opinion, based on research and my personal interpretation of the data, there is going to be massive job losses in 2025. there is also going to be new jobs created in 2025. And these new jobs must, in my opinion, have something to do with AI technology in one way or another. So if people aren't getting themselves to equip themselves with skill sets related to AI and just keep saying no, no, they're in denial, I think they're putting themselves in a really terrible position.
Yeah, I agree. It's like when people say in the past, right, before we had calculators and computers, you still had a load of brilliant people working in the space industry, working in NASA. And basically, once we had the ability to calculate by computers, it just allowed those people to do other things, which added more value. So I think exactly what you're saying is what's to come. But I also agree that if you are head in the sand and you're not trying to learn these things, then you are going to be in trouble over the next year. Which brings me to a question: if you're looking to learn and you're sitting listening to this now and you're like, oh, I feel like I'm behind, what's the best place to start in your opinion, Jerry?
I think, there are definitely different training courses out there, different certification programs out there. That's kind of how we met, right? I mean, I even started a training course and certification program myself. But I think the best place to look, depending on your personality type, but I think the best place to look is actually directly from the horse's mouth, which is, look at some of the free courses or training available from Google or from OpenAI or Microsoft or deep learning by Andrew Ng. The people who are sort of at the foundational level in terms of creating this technology. And it may be a bit technical for the average person, but if you want to have like a high level understanding, I think those are the good resources to go to. And guess what? If things get like too technical, then start using ChatGPT to help you simplify it, right? I mean, that's really how it works. If you've never used anything related to AI and you want to get started, I think starting with ChatGPT uh, is going to serve you well because it's a nice general purpose AI that's very easy to get your hands on, and it's really easy to use. And then just throw some information into it. If you take the introduction to generative AI from Google, for example, even if you just want to grab that landing page and ask ChatGPT to summarize it for you, I think that's much better than if you try to understand it all by yourself, if you're a non technical person.
Totally. And then obviously once you get into that path, then you will get to the stage where eventually you can start building these agents for yourself and doing those other things. But getting guidance from someone like yourself or someone like Jeff along the way is a good idea as well, for sure.
Yeah.
So Jerry, if people want to keep up with you, follow you, find you on social media, where's the best platform for keeping in touch with you?
Yeah, I think if you just want to have a chat, Facebook or LinkedIn are both great places to find me. If you need help with your business, you can come to my website. So I'll give you my websites and then I'll give my social media handle.
Yes, please. And we'll put the links in the comments as well for people to find.
Yeah, thank you. So the SEO agency is ecfmarketing.com. E as in Edward, C as in Charlie, F as in Frank, marketing.com. And my AI consulting agency website is ThrustIQ.com. So ThrustIQ.com. And then my social media handle on most platforms is Jerry C. Chen. So JerryCchen. That's where you can find me.
Perfect. Jerry, I feel like 15 minutes is nowhere near enough for you and I. I think we could probably talk for a couple of hours, but I wanted to thank you for joining us today and just, yeah, my gratitude for you taking the time to join the call.
Thank you, Jack. Good to be here.